The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, there are new developments in the ongoing saga between the Grand Bahama Power Company and the Coalition for Concerned Citizens. The coalition recently turned up the heat on the power company in an effort to have the power company lower the cost of electricity on the island. Tonight, as Sabrina Brown reports, the government is now involved and a meeting is set for next week to bring all parties to the table.
The Coalition for Concerned Citizens took a stand against the Grand Bahama Power Company, following through with the first in what could be a series of voluntary blackouts throughout the island. On Tuesday, residential and business customers turned off their power supply for the day. Some even took part in a Jericho march around the power company. This organized boycott getting the attention of the Minister for Grand Bahama, Dr. Michael Darville.
I was at Cabinet and got wind of what really was happening in Grand Bahama. I immediately contacted all the parties involved so that we can get together to discuss this vexing issue as far as power prices on the island of Grand Bahama.
There are unconfirmed reports that some 10,000 residents on Grand Bahama may be living without power. While Minister Darville says he cannot substantiate that claim, he admits that the high cost of electricity is a serious issue that is affecting many on this island.
As the Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, yes, there are constituents in Pine Ridge who is out of power. Every time we find out who these constituents are, we work along with social service at the Urban Renewal Department and me as the representative to make special efforts to try to get their power as well as their utilities and water back on. So it's a real problem in Grand Bahama.
The minister says although the situation is a challenge, the government is working with the power company to address this issue.
As you are aware, the Grand Bahama Power Company was in negotiation with the government as far as bringing in an alternative energy source, which is compressed natural gas. So they are actually moving to find ways to reduce the cost of power, as well as business owners and new businesses coming into Grand Bahama. There was a new economic rate for companies, new companies coming into Grand Bahama that will create employment and will create economic investment for Grand Bahama.
Coordinator for the Coalition for Concerned Citizens, Pastor Eddie Victor, says he's grateful that the government has intervened.
Minister Darville sent a communication literally, in minutes after the end of the demonstration. And then subsequently, I got a phone call later saying that he's already put in motion that a meeting would be organized between our coalition along with the Grand Bahama Power Company and also the Grand Bahama Port Authority. We are happy that such a meeting is in place.
The meeting is expected to be held sometime next week, but Pastor Victor says the campaign will continue until the cost of electricity is reduced on this island. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Sabrina. Well, the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Obi Wilshcombe, commenting on a statement made by a local attorney regarding the role of a corporate giant on the island. Attorney Carrie Leonard, speaking at the Chamber of Commerce's monthly luncheon this week, charged that Hutchison Whampoa is not doing all that it can to promote this destination.
I think Hutchison Whampoa needs to understand that we're beyond the heavy industry that they brought and beyond the container port. They need to be more of a corporate citizen and work more closely with the government, particularly in the area of tourism. They built this hotel, and so let's accept that, but they are a partner in Grand Bahama. We have to bring them more to the table, to the point where they understand what they're supposed to be doing and what we're doing and how important tourism is to the island of Grand Bahama. The criticism, some of it, I think that's internal because he would have worked more closely with them. For us, we can't look in the past. We have to look to the future, and I think it's imperative that we understand that whatever happened before, we have to fix it and get into a process of growth. And the only way that's going to work with the understanding that there's the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Hutchison Whampoa, and the government. The government must at all times work with all and get them to the table so they'll understand.
Now, the minister also shared his views on the depressed International Bazaar, a once popular shopping mecca and tourist attraction here on this island.
International Bazaar was a project before its time. It still has tremendous reach and can have tremendous appeal. We have to find the right paradigm to bring it back, and I think it should be a part of Grand Bahama moving forward. So it is a priority area in my ministry right now. I might propose to the Grand Bahama Port Authority to let's turn that into the cultural center of Grand Bahama, a cultural center because everybody's in search of more cultural activities on the island, and it might be the ideal spot for it.
Well, the Bahamas Maritime Pilots Association making a big step to bring about independence of pilots in the industry. Charisma Robinson explains.
6 out of 8 marine pilots at the Bahamas Oil Refining Company handing in a 30-day notice of resignation Friday.
The Freeport Harbor Company will receive notice that the resignations of the pilots are forthcoming. We've given reasonable notice, 30 days as per required by all contracts. The pilots have also informed that we have the Bahamas Maritime Pilots Association and a fully licensed company in Freeport, the Freeport Pilotage Company. We do not intend to suspend any level of service.
Managing Director of the Bahamas Maritime Association, Aaron Ferguson, says they have exhausted all measures with the companies over what they are calling poor safety standards at the Freeport Harbor.
Pilots are being overworked. Pilots are not being given the proper amount of rest. There's not a proper rotation system. And all of these are things that we are advocating for. There's no mandatory pilotage to the anchorage. And so you would see this week there was an incident at the anchorage. And in October, there were 2 incidents in 1 week.
The association wants an international standard of safety, and it says it begins with independence.
The pilots have asked, as is the standard in every port throughout the world, for independent pilotage. Here's why that is important. Pilots are supposed to be independent of commercial interest, which means that the pilot does not exist on the schedule of either the ships or the commercial interests in the harbor, any industry partners. That is important because pilots have to make judgment calls that protect the best interests of the harbor. Independence provides pilots with the ability to do their own training, to maintain the training standards that are kept worldwide, which is that pilots are trained or participate in some form of training every 6 months. Those training exercises include man models, simulators, and bridge control management. That has not happened, particularly in the companies that we're dealing with, in the time frames that is expected, and so the pilots are not trained as well as they would be if they were independent.
Ferguson says the association has submitted letters asking for independence. However, he claims the companies have shown no interest.
We have not received any cooperation from the companies. We've sent information regarding what we want to do. The Houston pilots have visited the Bahamas to explain the software that we intend to introduce that would help to avoid incidents and to avoid any confusion in the harbor and make it more efficient. The companies still show that they have no interest.
As soon as the resignations take effect, all pilotage services can be received from the Freeport Pilotage Company.
We are prepared to provide the service that we are providing today on a more efficient basis. We're introducing Harbor Lights, the software that is managing Houston Harbor, which is the 2nd largest petrochemical harbor in the world, and the Trinidad and Tobago pilots, which manage the largest port in the Caribbean, intend to come and help us to set up our pilotage association in standards with everyone else in the world.
Charisma Robinson, ZNS Network News.
Now, Freeport Harbor officials did not comment on these claims. However, it is understood that up to news time, the harbor did not receive notice of the resignations. Now, according to a source, Abaco officials have been advised of these resignations, and they are examining the facts and intend to continue to run an efficient operation and are likely to give a formal statement on Monday. Well, a feud brewing with the leadership of the Grand Bahama Christian Council. Executive board members reportedly voted overwhelmingly to oust the president and to carry on with the business of the Grand Bahama Christian Council without him.
Christian Council will continue the business of the council in the absence of the president.
Key members
Just 1 month after Pastor Keith Meadows was installed as president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, comes a vote of no confidence by the council's executive body. During a press conference on Thursday, Vice President Sidney McIntosh told the media that the council is serious about maintaining the integrity of the organization.
In recent weeks, there have been certain allegations levied against the council's moral integrity. The committee has had a series of meetings, both with the president of the Bahamas Christian Council out of Nassau and our president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council. As a result, the president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council agreed to make a public statement categorically disassociating himself from said allegations and denying the truthfulness of any of it.
But he said the president has yet to address the allegations publicly as promised.
Consequently, the executive committee met on a vote of no confidence in the president's ability to serve was overwhelmed pass. Therefore, the committee will move forward with the business of the council, that's the Grand Bahama Christian Council, in the absence of the president.
Despite calling the press conference, the council remained tight-lipped on the specifics of the allegations levied against the Christian Council leader. However, ZNS News has learned that Meadows is accused of inappropriate behavior. When asked if this is indeed the nature of the allegations, McIntosh had this to say.
No. Our decision is based upon the motion that was moved at a meeting which was held.
At first, the council refused to take any questions from the press, but later on agreed to answer 2 questions. The vice president was also asked if the president has agreed to step down.
There has been a vote of no confidence. That's not based upon whether agreed or not. It's a vote of no confidence based upon his compliance to a motion which was moved at a meeting.
McIntosh and Meadows ran on the same ticket during the January elections. Even though Meadows no longer enjoys the support of the council, the vice president maintains that the Grand Bahama Christian Council is unified.
We are together, we are strong, we are ready, we are moving forward. And this council, which we promised from the very beginning, is going to step up the morale of this council. We are together. We are moving forward together. And there's great things that is already laid out and planned out, and we're going to push forward, and it will be done for the betterment of the building of the kingdom of God. But we are unified.
Contacted, Pastor Keith Meadows confirmed that he was asked by the board to make a public statement refuting some allegations made against him, but he was advised by his lawyers not to do so. Meadows said he is not aware of a vote of no confidence taken against him. He maintains that he is still the president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, saying he was elected by the Christian Council's body and not the executive team. He says while he is aware that a meeting was held by the executive team, he doesn't know what transpired. However, he says a letter has been given to the council from his attorney, and it is also understood that the Christian Council President Keith Meadows will be meeting with members of the council at the Freeport Fellowship Center at 7 p.m. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Police over in Abaco making history on one of the keys as they continue the fight against crime. Despite 2 murders taking place at the beginning of the year, Superintendent of Police Noel Curry says Abaco remains a safe place for residents and tourists to enjoy. He says this year an historic achievement has been made on the island as a new police station opened on one of the keys.
The Guanakee police station was important for us at this time. As you know, Guanakee has never had the privilege of police officers stationed there. We've actually done our best to go in and out at varying times. But to actually have someone there at station 24 hours, I can get some sleep. And so it is good for us, and it's good for the island of Abaco. And as we move forward, we want to also see how we can police and station officers on other islands as time permits.
He says the keys have experienced minor crime like housebreakings and stealing. He also talks about some of the challenges on the mainland of Abaco.
we have our varieties such as little house breaking, shop breaking, things of that sort, petty stealing. One of the things that plagued us over the years has been the stealing of our vessels. Well, we have done a number of educational initiatives, and the people here in Abaco have responded very well. And so we have seen a steady decline in the stealing of our vessels over the years, and that is good news for all of us, and it also encourages commerce here on the island.
The superintendent of police says police on Abaco continue to work hard and partner with residents to curb all types of crime and criminality.
Overall, we're experiencing some good results here in Abaco, and we want to again thank the community. As we go forward this year, we're looking to increase our road checks here on the island, which also gives us a number of information and a number of good tactics that we can use as we go forward. So we're going to continue here our pledge to the people of Abaco and the Bahamas to continue our policing efforts. And the officers here in Abaco stand ready and rededicate themselves also to the fight against crime here in this beautiful island of Abaco.
Well, a 21-year-old man and 39-year-old female arrested today for possession of 21 pounds of suspected marijuana. Police tell us that the suspects were traveling in a vehicle in the area of the Freeport harbor when they were stopped by DEU officers. A search of the vehicle reportedly resulted in the discovery of the drugs that has a street value of some $21,000. Investigations into this matter are continuing. And switching gears, the Princess Court Ministries will begin its 8th cycle this Saturday at Central Zion Baptist Church. The goal is to encourage girls to remain sexually pure until marriage. Leading lady Peter Gay White talks about a new evangelistic outreach program for the young girls.
So what that is, that we will get a group of 250 girls, along with the leading ladies. We will go out into a setting where we would dance, we will do a drama, and then our pastor will come on and give a sermonette or a sermon to reach those in the community who don't know, who are maybe lost, who are maybe unbelievers, who are saved.
As one of the leading ladies, my role is the etiquette class, and what I do with the etiquette class is basically teach the young princesses about etiquette in terms of the way they conduct themselves, in terms of the way they sit, the way they stand, the proper way of speaking.
Well, registration for the program is only $5 and will be held every Saturday in the month of March. Those involved say classes will be fun, educational, and age-appropriate. Transportation will also be provided for those outside of the 8 Mile Rock community.
Little Darlings, ages 5 to 7. Daring Damsel, ages 8 to 11. Feminine Flavors, ages 12 to 15. And Modern Maidens, ages 16 to 18.
We do have our bus pickup. We do have our bus moms on the bus. So children, don't you try and be naughty. 3:15 p.m. would be, the bus will be leaving sharp and from Burger King with downtown. Parents, please return back to Burger King. Be there for 6:30 p.m.
Stay with us. Megan Shepard has a check on sports when we return.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sports. I'm Megan Shepard. The Geneva Rutherford Girls Basketball Tournament was a statement event for the C.R. Walker Junior Knights and the C.B. Bethel Senior Stingrays. As Ricardo Lightborn tells us, it was an MVP performance.
The C.B. Bethel Stingrays girls basketball team earned the spot as #1 team in the country. The Stingrays winning the Geneva Rutherford Girls Basketball Tournament, defeating the St. George's Jaguars 62-46, was a total team effort. Coach Glenda Gilcott said her team played well and with heart all season long, and they're rewarding of the #1 ranking. MVP Valerie Nesbitt was the real deal, a quality basketball player on and off the court. Tournament patron Geneva Rutherford said she was taken by the talent level this year, and the girls basketball is on the right track.
This year, 18 teams, two new groups coming, says a lot. Centrally, Lustra was here for the very first time. Aquinas Ace is here for the first time. And it's wonderful to have it being spread around and having the girls come in and looking forward to this tournament. And what I get from most of them as they're leaving, oh, they'll be back, which is great.
The Junior Division champions, the Sierra Walker Knights, are elated. Coach Antonio Saunders all smiles. The young lady Knights were tough. The junior most valuable player, Antonia Fertel, and she wants to come back next year. Coach Glastermo McPhee had high praises for the junior girls, and Tabby was tough.
But what made me so proud tonight is to see our junior girls, Sierra Walker and Tabernacle, the way they played. They brought the level of basketball so high, I almost cried. I'm serious.
The headlines for the rest of the year will read: CV Bethel Valerie Nesbitt wheels and deals away to an MVP season award and earned it. Ricardo Lightborn, ZNS Total Sports.
Aussie the Sports Insider announcing the winners of the Obi Wilczko Minister of Tourism High School Players of the Year Award, Grand Bahama Top Male Basketball Player Award Robert Joseph, and the top female player is St. George's Tiana Davis. NASA's Top Athletic Award goes to C.I. Gibson's Oakman Lightbourne, and top female is Valerie Nesbitt of CV Bethel. The Coach of the Year Chuck Mackey Coach Award goes to C.I. Gibson's coach Kevin K.J. Johnson, and the Grand Bahama Moon McPhee Coach Award goes to Tabernacle's coach Norris Bain. There is basketball happening tonight in the Grand Bahama Basketball Association at the St. George's Gym. The Secret Saints plays the College of the Bahamas Caribs in the opener. The Warriors for Life face Showtime Knights, Men of Honor, and the Arawak Stars play the feature. Nico Grant Anita Doughty Primary School Softball League Boys quarterfinal scores to pass on to you. Freeport Gospel closed out Tabernacle 14-zip, the BMES Warriors 19, Hugh Campbell 4, Sunland over Bartlett Hill 9-1, Walter Barker closed out Holmes Rocks 12-0. Also from softball, the Grand Bahama Amateur Softball Association holding its AGM at the hour at the Susan Wallace Center. On the agenda, the start of the fast and slow pitch season. The age limit for slow pitch will be tabled, and international play. And that's your check on sports for this Friday evening.